think it makes a really big difference in terms of how we approach our marketing. And when everything that we're looking at, we're trying to figure out from this really cold analytical perspective, like, is what we're doing making a difference? Are we measurably growing someone's business? And there are a lot of tactics, a lot of marketing tactics out there that are designed specifically to, I wouldn't say the word manipulate, but they are designed to change the trajectory of certain numbers, right? It's just whether or not we want to see a domain rating change, or whether or not we want to see organic traffic change, or whether or not we want to see just numbers in a database change. Like there are marketing tactics that are specifically designed to change numbers, hard, cold numbers. And I think the thing that we really need to also be considering is, what about the warm, fuzzy numbers? What about the things that aren't as measurable? And that could be something like, community impact. It could be something like, you can count the number of people you talk to, but networking. It could be like how you affected someone. And you have to realize that you have the ability to use your marketing dollars in a lot of different ways, and certainly in ways that would allow you to do more than just say, I'll put it in context of the conversation that Garrett and I had, which is, if you've got, $100 arbitrarily to go buy a link, you could buy any link, right? But what if you took that money and you used it to support a local business and also got a link? And I think that's the core of what we're kind of talking about. Like, how can you use your marketing investment in a way that gets you more than just this, this one measurable over here? Like, think about what the immeasurables are and the additional benefits. And something that came out of the conversation that I think is super important is, and this is probably for a lot more businesses than we, so oftentimes when we talk about like marketing, we're talking about it from these $1 million companies or these big budgets and all this stuff. But look, most of the marketing spend is coming from local businesses. And I think the one big opportunity, and this came from this conversation, and I'm going to give all the credit to Garrett for bringing this up and being like, hey man, you need to pay attention to this, was that every small business has the opportunity to out-local anyone else. You don't have to have a big budget to do that. You really don't. Money always helps, but you don't have to have a big budget to do that. So when you're thinking about your marketing and your investment, I want you to think about two things. And one is, what are some more of the intangibles? What are the things that people are going to walk away with that are more of the feels? Okay. How is your marketing doing in terms of the feels? And then two is, how is your marketing investment making you the local choice, making you the most local opportunity? And I think there's a fundamental change in the way that you might approach some of the tactics and strategies that you use, or even some of the ways that like you might have previously written a blog post that would allow you to become that local source, that local expert, the one who is the most locally connected. And some of that comes into things like personal branding and stuff like that. So change your perspective a little bit and think about how your marketing can get more local.